Hi, welcome back to Our Hollywood. I'm Kim.
I'm Daniel, and today we have with us Ella. Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're warm, as we said earlier. It's so hot in here. Also, it's like 90 degrees today.
It's so hot in here, and we're both wearing black.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So today we're going to be talking about cult musicals, one of my favorite movie genres, just in general.
The girth in your voice.
I love musicals in general, but cult musicals are a whole different.
Dang, I didn't you were not that excited before we started filming, but in that sentence, you
I'm
literally
so excited.
Yeah, no.
Excited.
I'm excited too.
Yeah. So Ella, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and then sort of why you got into film before we, start getting into all these musicals?
Yeah, so I actually grew up doing musical theater. That's how it all started. It's always happened. My dad he has a master's in theater, so it just kind of happened that way. And then I knew I didn't want to do it as a career because that's a really tough world. Not that film is much easier. But so I decided to go into media management. And yeah, that's kind of how it happened. But I still love musicals and I love TV and I love movies and
I didn't know that. Well, I knew that you like musicals because when we were because Devin and I were in the same project in college. I almost said in high school. Oh my god! And I don't know what year it was, but we started.
It was that awful director that y'all talked about.
Yeah. Oh, every time I think about him, I just get so angry. But anyway, so I don't know when we brought up, but we brought up Little Shop of Horrors, and I was like, I hadn't seen it yet, and they told me to watch it, and I.
Wow, so they started.
Yeah, we listened to it the entire car ride home because we were filming in Long Beach, and so we listened to Little Shop the entire car ride home, and that's how we kind of became friends too.
Yeah, because
Daniel's that's his favorite thing.
Absolutely, I added it to my letterbox, my favorite movies, because I was like, I love this movie so much.
You talk about it a lot.
And you finally watched it yesterday.
Yeah,
I tell everyone to watch it, and no one ever does.
I always meant to. I just couldn't find it anymore. Yeah, and I'm not a person that watches things illegally.
Okay, you attacking me?
No, it's just because I'm afraid of messing up my computer.
Oh, I just have ad blocker on, and
it's not because it's for the art.
I honestly thought that was why.
No.
Okay.
I couldn't care less. You know how much money the movie industry makes? They're doing fine.
They really are.
They're really doing fine.
Yeah. So what musical theater productions were you in? I remember you mentioning this a little bit, but I don't think I ever asked which ones?
I did a lot just because I did it for a really long time, but I did
Your favorites.
Grease was really fun. I was a Pink Lady, and I did Little Mermaid 4 separate times, and I've also done Anything Goes, which is very classic Broadway, a few times as well, but those are some favorites for sure.
I love Anything Goes.
Yeah.
I just love musicals. I'm so excited.
Okay, I also love musicals as well. And then so for me growing up, I always wanted to do musicals, but I don't know, none of my schools ever did them.
Our school's musicals.
Well, we never did one.
Well, we did, but they were written by the drama teacher.
Oh yeah.
So they didn't want to pay.
Musicals. Yeah.
There was one about suicide.
I don't
2/3 Down. It was each of these characters.
Remember a zombie one.
Oh, Zombies the musical.
Is that what it was called? That is really what it was called.
It was called Zombie. No, he wrote it himself.
No, he wrote it himself because he's cheap, and I'm sure he didn't get much funding. I mean, we used cassette tapes.
Yeah.
In 2016.
But also the musicals. Well, it wasn't just him that would write. He would write them with his drama students and force them to write the songs.
I didn't know that.
2/3 Down, it was I liked it. I loved it.
Why did everything that we did in high school revolved around suicide?
I don't know.
Talking about it.
It was a good musical though. I still know the song.
Was it really?
2/3 Down. I still know it to this day, and I saw it once. That's how good it was. For a school musical that they wrote.
You should email Mr. Meads and tell him.
No, it's very insensitive.
Oh.
Yeah, let's not. I'm using the name.
It doesn't matter.
That's true. He's not going to listen.
He's not going to listen to this.
Where is he?
I don't know. I've always wanted to reach out to him. I was going to go visit him after I graduated college, but then COVID happened, and I don't know if I will ever see that man again.
Yeah, no.
I just wanted to be hey, I actually did it. I actually did,
You went to college.
I went to college and I went in for film. And I mean, he was the only person I could look up to in high school, which is weird because he made me cry a lot. Anyways. Yeah.
Anyways.
He put a lot of pressure on me. Anyways, back to musicals. I always loved them for my whole life. Like, Sound of Music was the first one I ever got into, and I got singing lessons. I thought I was going to go to Juilliard, and I thought I was going to do the thing. And then my anxiety set in middle school, and my stage fright set in middle school. And then I was like, never mind. I guess I will not do that. So that is So I live very vicariously through my shower singing, and the private videos on my Snapchat of me singing.
Absolutely.
So
I think everyone who's like a theater kid at heart but like never did it, does that, and they like have performances in their shower.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
I think I'm okay. I just will never show.
Were in. Wait, were you in show choir?
I was in choir.
Oh, you were in choir. So
Yeah.
Well, no,
they ruined it for me.
What do you mean?
Like, I got so scared because everyone was super like, I was not an extrovert in middle school because I was so scared of everybody. And everybody was just too much. And I was like, I'm scared.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this.
I was in one production. I was in The Wizard of Oz. And I was a flying monkey, a munchkin, and a tree. I was all three. And I had a solo in the monkey song.
Stop! I didn't know that.
My mom has it all on a little, like, those like DVDs, but they're like this big.
Yeah.
I don't know what those are called. Yeah.
I didn't know
It was
that.
maybe like 4th grade.
Oh my God, at least you did something. It ended after elementary school. Like, I literally thought I was a shit in elementary school. Like, I literally was in all city choir, and I like, my like music teacher and I were like this, and like, I was singing Seasons of Love when I was like in 5th grade, in 4th grade. I don't know why she thought that was
maybe. I mean, the song
is good.
Everybody's seen it. No one knows what's really happening behind it.
You know.
No one knows what Rent is about until you're like older and you're like, that's what I was thinking.
Literally, because I only knew Seasons. Obviously, she couldn't teach us any of the other songs.
Yeah, no.
So Seasons of Love was the only song, and I was completely enamored.
I think that's why everyone knows Seasons of Love, because all the drama teachers are like, you're gonna sing this, but I can't tell you anything else. Okay, so to the musicals we're gonna talk about today, one of the first ones is the Rocky Horror Picture Show, because we're talking specifically about cult musicals, which is it's a subsection of musicals.
Yes.
So we wanted to do a little BuzzFeed quiz, as we do on here.
Our favorite thing to do,
honestly.
Yeah.
So this one is, which Rocky Horror Picture Show character best matches your personality? There's not that many characters. Most of them are side characters. But I'm definitely going to get a side character. I feel it.
All right.
I feel it right now.
I know what my guess is, what I think I am, but I don't think I'll actually get it.
Okay, say it. Say your guess.
I think I'm Columbia.
Okay.
I could get that vibe.
Wait, no, not Columbia. Sorry. I think I'm Magenta. Yeah.
Okay. Wait, which one's which?
I don't think I am. Magenta is like the maid outfit with the big hair, Magenta. And then Columbia is the little dancer girl.
The way that the Glee versions popped up in my head before the movie ones, I was like, oh, Quinn. Anyway.
I don't even have a guess. I don't
You're
know.
thinking Quinn and Santana, not Tina and Brittany.
Okay, right. Those versions from the last song. Okay, so the first question is, first things first, how would your friends describe you? Strategic, strong, sensitive, ambitious, passionate, or alluring? I hate these questions.
So we have to answer each other. We always have to.
Okay, I'll go for Ella first. Okay, wait. Strategic, strong, sensitive, ambitious, passionate, ambitious. One time she said to me, and it like changed my life. She was like, we were like at Chili's, and she was like, she was like, I just have to succeed. Like, I know I'm going to. And I was like, that's so funny. We were talking about the Met Gala.
Same.
Not in a like, I'm better, not like that. It's because we were talking about the Met Gala.
But you just are very sure of yourself.
Yeah, and I was like, we were like, we have to go, like, we're going to be at the Met Gala one day.
Oh,
like, we have to. Like, there's.
I wasn't a part of this conversation, but I feel the same way.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't know I said that, but like, I'm a little inspired.
You don't remember?
No. But okay.
I remember that so specifically. I was like, I was like, I'm inspired. So yeah, I think, well, is ambitious?
Ambition or
maybe passionate.
Alluring.
What's alluring?
That means kind of like charismatic, I would say.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm going to pick ambitious for you. Okay.
I think, I don't know, for Daniel. I mean, we can both answer for Daniel.
Oh.
I guess I I would say strategic or passionate.
I was thinking strategic.
Okay. Yeah, I need to plan things out. It's just the thought of it not is stresses me out. Okay, and then for you, I'm gonna say, for Kim, I forgot people can't see. I'm gonna say strategic, strong, sensitive, ambitious. I think passionate, because no one said passionate, right?
No.
Like you did, but I didn't pick that one. So yeah, passionate, because you get things done, and you're like, yes, I'm into this. You know.
If I'm passionate about it, yes, I'll get
exactly.
it. If I'm not passionate about it, it's like
it's not gonna happen.
Good luck, Charlie.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so.
Okay, pick an iconic song from Rocky Horror Picture Show. Damn It, Janet, science fiction double feature, Over at Frankenstein's Place, I Can Make You a Man, Time Warp, Touch Me.
Okay, go first.
Me? Yeah. No, let Ella go.
Okay, Ella.
She's the guest.
I'm gonna go Toucha.
Okay, great song.
Okay.
Great song.
Damn.
I know. I'm gonna pick "Damn It, Janet." I love that song.
I was not gonna choose either of those ones. I'm between science fiction double feature and Over at Frankenstein's Place.
Also, I feel like we're gonna mention the Glee episode a lot today. So I just think we should say now that the Santana version of that is better than the movie one.
Oh, it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think I'm gonna go science fiction double feature because I feel like it's pretty underrated because I mean it's just lips, like it's not like an actual character.
Yeah.
And I just remember the first time I watched the movie, I was just already enamored. I was already
it's so good. I love that song.
And then the Santana version, I was like,
so good. Because I feel like with those versions, they were more campy, and the Glee versions, they were like vocals, you know?
Okay.
With a lot of the songs too. Okay, pick another horror show. Scream, Jennifer's Body, Hocus Pocus, Carrie, Final Destination, or Nightmare on Elm Street. Ella, which one?
I'm gonna go Carrie.
Carrie, I love Carrie.
Okay, I'm gonna go Jennifer's Body.
Okay, I'm gonna go Scream, but I knew what I was gonna pick before.
Choose a move: jump to the left, step to the right, hands on your hips, bring your knees in tight, pelvic thrust, go insane.
The way that I was so confused, I was like, wait, what? And then I got it once you were reading them.
I'm gonna go step to the right because I like the step to the right. Yeah, that's why I'm gonna.
I don't know. I'm so confused by this question for some reason.
Why?
I don't know.
Not a real stan.
No,
Fake
like
stan.
I know what it's from, but like my brain's like, what does this mean? I'm just gonna put the last one. Go insane.
I'm gonna go pelvic thrust just for the.
Yeah, they don't say go insane, but like they all. That's when they all like.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
I'm going first for this one. I'm sorry. Pick a musical show. Grease, Little Shop of Horrors, Les Mis, Singing in the Rain, Chicago, or Spring Awakening. I'm sorry, guys. I'm taking Little Shop of Horrors.
That's fine. Okay, Ella, go ahead.
I'm torn between Spring Awakening and Chicago. I'm gonna go Chicago.
I don't think I know what Spring Awakening is. I'm sorry.
That's how Leah Michelle got discovered, and
John Groff.
I was about to say Jesse St. James. I was about to full on whole chest say Jesse St. James because I'm so attached to that character. Yeah. Anyways, I'm picking Grease because I watched that way too much.
Okay.
Especially for like how rapey Danny is.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's a future episode.
Yeah. No, but John Travolta in movies in general. Anyway, choose a house to have your car break down in front of. What a weird question. Okay, so there's like a mansion,
there's a
castle, just a little tiny little house, the psycho house, like a cabin in the woods, and then just a suburban house. Yeah, I'm gonna do the psycho house.
Yeah.
Typical. He can kill me. Okay. That's fine.
I want to risk it and go full castle.
Okay.
Which one? The middle one or the left one?
The left one. That suburban house scares me too much.
Yeah.
No way.
I'm gonna go with the more medieval looking castle.
Okay. Dracula. Okay. I think it's that Dracula.
Yeah,
castle.
I think
Lastly, pick a shade of red lipstick. So it's just a bunch of different shades of red lipstick.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the bottom left.
Okay.
I'm going top left because that color looks the best on my skin tone.
Okay. I'm gonna do top middle just because I don't know anything. Oh my god.
I'm so confused by me.
Yeah, me too. Okay. I'll go first. I got Brad Majors. You're the hero of our story, but not a toxic masculine hero. You're a cool hero who's in touch with your feelings.
No, it makes sense though.
Okay.
No, that makes sense.
I'll take it. I forgot he was in the movie, honestly.
watch.
Yeah, at
Rocky
first you're like, oh
Horror.
my god, but then
Yeah.
you're like, oh.
So like you're yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Sorry.
your turn.
Anyways, mine is Rocky Horror. Whether you know it or not, you're always the center of attention, and everyone is drawn around you is drawn to your energy.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate to give myself credit, but I feel like sure.
Okay. Oh.
Okay, I know I said I think I'm a magenta, but this is actually more accurate.
Okay.
I am Janet Weiss.
Wait, we all got good ones.
Yeah.
What does it say?
All main
On
characters.
the surface, people think you're a damsel in distress, but you're really a boss queen who can save herself.
Period. Okay, BuzzFeed. I feel like every time we do a BuzzFeed quiz, it started off as a joke, but now we're all like,
They always go out and they always are correct.
See, we're all main characters.
Absolutely.
Period.
Okay, I lost the Google Doc completely. Oh, just kidding. I was still on it. Okay, so we're gonna get into all the musicals now. So the first one is Rocky Horror Picture Show. It came out in 1975. It was directed by Jim Sharman and also written by him. And then Richard O'Brien, who plays Riff Raff, apparently also co-wrote the script, which I had no idea.
King.
I found this yesterday on Wikipedia and I was like, amazing. So first thoughts. I 100% found out about this from Glee. I'm not even gonna pretend I didn't.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't know it was a thing. And then in the Glee episode, I was like, what's going on? And then I looked it up and I was like, oh, it's like an homage to Rocky Horror.
I feel like I think they announced that they were going to do Rocky Horror, and I was like, what is Rocky Horror? And then I watched it, and then the episode came out.
Oh.
Because I was very much into Glee. Like, I was very much on top of everything.
I think we're all Gleeks.
Have you guys, so I don't know if we'll talk about this, but like, have you guys been to a Rocky Horror?
Yes.
She has. I have never.
Okay. That's how I found out about it, because it was like the thing to do in my hometown. That was like the party crazy night.
Really?
And it was like a rite.
Where are you from?
I'm from Santa Cruz, up in Northern California. It's like a relatively small town, but theater is a big deal. Like, there's a huge theater community for how big the town is. And so like this is like a rite of passage. Like, you're not in high school until you really go to it. And so been to a good few in my day.
That's so fun.
It sounds like a TV show thing.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Interesting.
It sounds so fun. So yeah, I watched it, and then I watched the Glee episode, and then in high school at the Kensington Theater, which is in San Diego, they did the midnight showings, and I got the little goodie bag to help you prepare for the show. And honestly, I was really overwhelmed because I just had a lot of anxiety in high school. So like, I was just like, what is going on? It definitely puts you out of your comfort zone. Mm-hmm. Just going to a show, because it's a very interactive experience, to say the least. And I'm going to keep it as that. Yeah. I'm going to keep it at that, because you should go in knowing less. You know? I feel like you need the whole experience.
You need to be confused.
You need to be confused, and you need to be a little overwhelmed, a little bit scared.
That sounds like hazing.
It kind of is, though.
Okay.
It kind of is. Anyways, but in like a fun, cute, like lighthearted way.
Okay.
Like, we're bonding as a community.
To do it.
Okay. No one's dying.
No one's dying.
Okay.
It's very playful.
Not my earring getting jumped on my shirt right now.
I would say. So I don't think we're going to be able to do midnight showings of Rocky Horror in the capacity that we used to anymore.
Maybe not for a couple years.
Not for a couple years. But as soon as that starts happening again, I recommend.
Yes.
Everyone should experience that in their lifetime.
Okay, cool.
It's definitely fun.
Okay, so I don't know how to describe the plot of this movie.
So basically, Brad and Janet, they're like, are they newlywed or are they engaged?
They get engaged at the very beginning.
They get engaged, and they're driving, and their car breaks down, and then they find Frankenstein's place, and then they just step upon this weird manner of a bunch of different types of people that they've never interacted with. And I think they get to indulge in, because they're very much a cookie cutter couple, very much so. And this place is kind of like a place where they get to explore things that they probably would have never, I would say, is how I would describe it.
That's a very good description.
Yeah, thank you. Can you tell that I've watched the movie like a million times and I've thought about it very hard?
With like the science fiction part like sprinkled in every once in a while. It's not consistent,
Yeah.
but then there's that weird stuff happening throughout it too.
Mm-hmm.
And also like the ending, it caught me so off guard the first time I watched it. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, huh?
So weird.
Yeah, but it works for the.
But that's a thing with cult musicals, is like the ending never really like
That's why they're
makes
called
sense.
musicals.
That's what it is. We didn't even explain what a cult musical is.
Okay, so we were trying to figure this out earlier.
Okay.
Like the specific, like what makes a cult musical?
So there is a article that Daniel found from Breaking Character magazine, written by Chris Cam. Want to give this person their credit.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it's a celebration of like the subversive. So like taboo topics, pseudo subcultures, and stories that turn social norms upside down. That's the ingredients of a good cult show. And I feel like that's pretty much it. It's basically just offbeats is what I would like. That's what it says in the thing. Offbeat people, unusual things that aren't traditional narratives that you would see. But they're like super campy and super like
over the top.
dial is turned all the way up. And then they're their main characters usually.
Yeah, you definitely have to get into the world of these movies.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a minute at first. Like when I was watching Hedwig the other night for this podcast, for the first 10 minutes I was like, I don't know if I like this. But once you're in the world and you understand how these characters are working, how they're thinking, you're like, okay, I can see this movie now.
Yeah.
And I think that's why on rewatches they get better, because
Mm-hmm.
you already know what you're in for, and then you can appreciate all the little things before, like without the whiplash from like the real world and then getting into this.
Yeah. And I think that's like why they're so popular too, is especially because obviously we're talking about musicals, not just like cult movies and stuff. Like in a lot of theater communities, like being subversive is such a big deal, and being divergent from the norm, like it's like expected. And so they're like, yeah, this is different. Like we like this. And that's really how it becomes so popular.
Yeah. That's so interesting to me. I don't know. The concept of cult musicals is so interesting to me because like I feel like they can't really go into being like, we're gonna make a cult musical, because then that would kind of take the whole thing out of it.
I think this was like my first like place where I saw like a drag queen, and I didn't know what it was. Well, I guess transvestite is like what they say, but
that's what the term they use in the movie.
Yeah, that's the term they use but that's like a dated term.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Don't say that in your life.
And also Tim Curry identifies as a man.
Yeah.
Correct? So I don't.
But usually like they're performed by drag queens. At least in like their right? At least that's like how people have interpreted it in like life.
I think another thing that's really interesting with the movies we're going to talk about is who plays these characters, because there's a lot of, I mean in theater in general, but there's a lot of LGBTQ like actors, and there's like, we'll get to Hedwig in a second, because the history of the characters who have played Hedwig is so interesting to me. Yeah, but let's finish Rocky Horror before we get there. So I wrote literally so bizarre, but so like it's just an iconic movie. There's no way around it. It's weird, and if you don't tell people what they're in for, they're gonna be very confused, might not even like it. But it grows on you. Tim Curry is amazing as always. He's always good in everything he's in.
He is.
Okay, this is interesting. I found this yesterday when I was looking it up. The guy who Pierre LaRoche, oh my god, I butchered that name, but he had been a makeup artist for Mick Jagger and David Bowie, and they redesigned the makeup for each character for the movie, because it's different from what the original Broadway show had, which I just thought that was so interesting, because you could see those influences in
100%
the characters, and I had just never thought of that before.
It's very much like a rock and roll like type of musical.
I think all of these are kind of like same. Hedwig and Rocky Horror are more glam rock. But Little Shop of Horrors also has some rock songs.
Yeah, definitely. Just a different like subsection of rock.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I just absolutely love this movie. The first time I watched it, because I was young. I was in middle school when I first watched it, I think, or like beginning of high school. So like I was like really confused.
Yeah.
I was really confused. I was like, what? Because it's just kind of like a lot of like different types of like people that like I hadn't been exposed to before. So I was like really confused. And it was like really overtly like sexual. And I was not very comfortable with sexuality in general at that age. So I was like, what? But I think it was good for me to experience that, because it made me it just made me think. I was just like, oh, so it's not like that weird. Like,
yeah,
you know,
I get what you're saying.
I get like that maybe not be like the experience that like a lot of people have. Some people think it's like really gross, but then that's just not your type of musical. And then maybe you just shouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about it, but like, yeah, definitely the first time I saw the movie, I was like,
really confused.
I don't know what's going on. Should I be watching this? Like turning down the volume in certain parts?
No, literally, like I think maybe like majority, at least Gen Z, maybe we were a little bit too young when we first watched it. Maybe, arguably, but I think it was good. I think I like how we turned out, anyways.
You like
Turned out okay.
Literally.
And then there's a sequel. Did not know.
I didn't know that either.
Still shock treatment. I don't think much people know about it. I wrote the Glee episode, Let's Discuss, because again, this is how I found out this movie even existed. And I think the way that Glee integrated this into the episode, I think is a lot better than how Riverdale integrates musicals into there.
I can't believe you just brought up Riverdale.
I have to, because they did Hedwig.
Yes.
So we have to talk about Riverdale. I'm sorry, but it's just part
the
of
most iconic episode of Riverdale too.
It's it's weird, but I think how Glee did it. I'm glad they did it because it opened a new audience for Rocky Horror.
Oh yeah. It gave it a rebirth, I think.
Yeah, like
it gave Gen Z a chance to see it, honestly, because I think Rocky Horror probably would have died a little bit more if Glee hadn't done it.
Yeah, because it was still like an underground movie, I guess. But I think when Glee did it, it brought a little bit more to the surface, you know, and then a lot of people were exposed to it more, and it's a good movie, and I think the people who like Glee will also like.
Oh, they did like a live version too, right? With
Victoria Justice,
Laverne Cox.
Oh, I saw it.
I hated it.
Not good.
I remember when they announced the casting, I was like, okay.
Laverne Cox was good. I just love, but that I think it's just because I love Laverne Cox.
I think,
but Victoria Justice as Janet, I already don't like Janet that much. Like I like what's her name's portrayal of it, the original one. Yes, I love her. Yeah. I love her.
I'm just forgetting her name.
Yeah, I know that's really bad. I'm so sorry. It's because I don't know. My mind is like everywhere today. Yeah. But I love her because it's Susan Sheridan.
Absolutely.
Like. Right. That's an iconic person.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think it's just Victoria Justice. Like I think like they thought they were doing something right because it was like, oh, her show was very popular, but she was the worst character in her own show.
Absolutely.
So like I don't know why they thought that was okay for them to do.
Who played Brad?
Girl, I don't know. That's sad. That's sad that he was that forgettable that none of us.
No, the whole
remember. Brad is the most forgettable character. Let's be honest.
Exactly. No, I literally forgot. No, it's okay. I remember right before we were talking about it, I forgot he was a character. Like when I got him on the quiz, I was like, oh right, he's in this movie. But I think that's kind of the point of his character. He's a forgettable person.
Absolutely.
The way it was Ryan McCartan.
I don't know who that is.
He played
he's from
Heathers the musical.
He's from Heathers, yeah.
He's from Heathers.
He plays what's his name?
Not JT.
Wait, the bad
the main guy.
The main guy, yes.
The way that none of us can remember and we all were like, yeah, we love musicals so much.
No, you don't understand. My brain is just there's colors and I don't know what's going on right
Jason Dean. Why did we think it was
JD?
JD. Okay.
Ew, Jason Dean. I forgot his Christian.
Okay, but in our defense, all of those live musicals that they've done on like NBC and ABC are not good. So
no. I don't know why they keep
Kenny Ortega directed it, so
hey, I love Kenny.
Yeah.
Love that.
Kenny, we love you, but I
love you, but don't do Rocky Horror. I love you for what you did for High School Musical, but don't do Rocky Horror. That's not.
Right. I'll stand by Teen Beach Movie. I'll stand by The Descendants. But I can't stand by Rocky Horror.
That's his realm. Is that
TV Disney musicals for kids?
Don't do Rocky Horror. Leave it.
I mean, I'm glad he stepped out of his comfort zone, but it didn't work for me.
It got a GLAAD award.
No, it didn't.
Oh, it was nominated.
I was like, are you kidding me? Anyway, so yeah, that's Rocky Horror. This is a great musical. If you haven't seen it, watch it. Or wait until the world is open again and we can
I forgot Adam Lambert was in the live version. He was Eddie. But I also love Adam Lambert. And also Eddie only has like one song. So.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Which is a good song.
Yes, it's so underrated. Every time I see a ranking on TikTok for like the songs, it's always like the last one, and I'm like,
No, it's so good.
What? Sorry. Huh?
Well, rankings on TikTok are, I'm like, they're always wrong. Sorry, but yeah, they're always wrong. Anyway, so let's get to our second one. I put these in order that they came out. Not like there's no order here, but it was just like chronological order of them being released on film. So the second one is Little Shop of Horrors, came out in 1986. It was directed by Frank Oz, and the screenplay was written by Howard Ashman, who also wrote the Broadway musical, which I'm glad they did that because he kept it true to what it was.
Could you imagine like writing like a whole Broadway musical and somebody adapts it to film and they completely like just fucks up the meaning of your original content?
Well, that's okay. We'll get to the endings there because this is one of the most interesting film things to me ever. Okay, I wrote that it holds up very well because the Audrey 2. Oh, well, let me describe what it's about first. So basically, it's this guy. His name is Seymour. He works at this plant shop, and he like hates his life. Like he feels like he's good for nothing. Like, and there's
very much loner, very much nerdy loner,
geeky, like
but
kind of
not
loser.
incel.
But
no, not that kind of loser.
Not that kind of like literally just like geeky, like
he's just like the underdog.
Yeah, he's like a sweetheart. Like
sweetheart.
Yeah,
he's a sweetheart.
There we go. And then there's his coworker Audrey, who
he loves.
Yes, and this character, I love her, but the way they wrote her sometimes, I'm like, oof. And then there's the guy. Oh my god, I forgot the name of the guy who owns the shop. There's him, and then there's the dentist, and then basically what happens is he finds a plant that landed from outer space. And the greed of these characters eventually leads, depending on what version you watch, it either leads to the end of the world or it leads to they defeat the plant and
be happy.
Yeah.
Ominously happy.
Yeah.
It's really weird. Anyways.
Okay. So the music in this one is also like.
Well, okay, hold on. Back up. 2 endings because the theatrical version is different than the director's cut, and it is very 2 different types of endings.
Exact opposite way.
Literally exact opposite. We'll talk about the endings in a second. But I just thought I would clarify because I'm sure that was confusing.
The original ending, the one that didn't test well with audiences when they did test screenings, is the one that they took off and then they rewrote a theatrical version of it. Because I do think that when you're watching something on Broadway, you feel a little detached from the characters because they're over there and you're over here, in my opinion. So it's like, and when you're watching it on film, I mean, that's just how I think about it. When you're watching it on film, they're like right here. You could see facial expressions and everything. At least for me, because like when I saw Wicked, like this is the only one that I've seen like professionally live.
Okay, Wicked.
But give me a second. But they're like over there. So you're like, you're watching a musical, but when you're watching a movie, they're like more up close. I don't know how to explain it.
I feel the exact opposite.
Okay, but like explain.
So I just like when you're in a room with someone, you're like feeling their emotion versus like watching.
I'm so confused.
But then why do you think
I think it's both. I feel the same way. It's so interesting that like you feel and you feel opposite, and I feel like the same about both. Like I feel like I don't know. Maybe I just like get really into things. You do. I do.
So either way, you're getting attached.
Either way. Either way,
in conclusion, okay.
2 things on the stage. When it comes to real people, I don't get attached, really.
Let's just talk about the endings now. We might as well. So essentially, the original Broadway ending is the plant gets, or basically Seymour is like feeding the plant.
Spoiler
people.
Alert.
This movie came out in 1986. Although I guess not a lot of people have seen it, so sorry, but. The plant is basically using Seymour to get fed and get bigger so that his BFFs can come
and it needs like human blood.
Yes. So basically Seymour's greed comes at a price and he kills Audrey.
Well, because the whole thing of the movie is that they want to get out of Skid Row.
Right.
Yeah. That's the whole
There's
thing.
a whole song.
Yeah. That's the whole opening song is that they want to get out of Skid Row.
Yeah, it's definitely not just like he's not money hungry. He wants to get money to get Audrey a good house, as she has a whole song about like wanting to have a little house together,
like typical American dream, like house, white picket fence, 2 kids.
Yes.
And
so
life.
In the original ending, what happens is they all die and the plants take over the world because people buy more of this little plant and then they just take over the world and then the world ends because of the one little decision that they made. And that did not test well with audiences. And they were like, absolutely not. We don't want that. And so they changed it to the plant gets defeated on accident.
That's super quick. No, not an accident.
The like ceiling falls.
No, Seymour like takes something and like
He
basically
electrocutes him.
jump starts the plant.
Yeah, and then
Damn, did you watch the movie?
I've never seen the theatrical version because I saw the ending on YouTube once and I was like, no, it makes me so mad.
I mean, yeah, okay.
But yeah, and then Audrey, like in the original ending, she gets fed to the plant, which is weird. And then in the theatrical,
it lures her in. And
no, but after you know how like she's like, just feed me to the plant so I can be somewhere that's green.
I think maybe I missed that part.
I don't know. It's very different because I don't know. The endings are I don't know. But so then the happy ending, I guess, is that Audrey wasn't dead and they live happily ever after in a little house. And then just kidding, there's one more plant.
Yeah.
The end.
And this is like super jarring for people. Like there is like so many arguments. Some people love the theatrical ending. Some people love the original ending. So
are we going to discuss who likes what?
So which one do you like? I know what Daniel likes.
Yeah. I think I made it clear that I like the end of the world ending because it caught me completely off guard. And I was like, wow, impressive. Okay. I thought the scale of it for that story, just like it goes from like this tiny little shop to like the end of the world. I was like, that is insane. I loved it. I just like the scale of it and the message of it. Ella?
Yeah, I mean, I think I agree. I am a sucker for like a happy musical ending, honestly, because like how musicals end.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm torn between them. It's been a while since I saw the like alternative one, but I don't know. I'm kind of torn between them.
Okay. Daniel made me not tell him when
because I wanted to discuss this live.
So I don't know. I know what you're gonna say. I slightly prefer the original ending. Slightly. But I feel like both endings have their flaws immensely. First of all, the director's cut ending is way too fucking long.
I love that
sequence is so fucking long.
It's like 20 minutes.
It's literally, I'm like, okay, we get it. They're taking over. Okay. I don't need to see it. It's this whole song. But like for a good part of the song, they're not singing.
It's like,
it's just, and I was just like, this is like, I mean, I guess it's supposed to feel like super jarring, but like it's too long. Like it's too long. You could have cut that in half. And I think that's the reason why I'm not like 100%. That's why I'm not like 100% like, oh my God, I love that ending. Because I am the opposite. I love a good sad ending. Mm-hmm. I love when things are bleak and I love when things are, because I feel like I like that because I very much so I do romanticize things and I grew up romanticizing things because I grew up on like romantic comedies. Mm-hmm. So I like having those types of endings now in my life to check myself. I think, I guess, like
keep ourselves in line. Okay.
Because like but that's the thing though. Like you need both of them though, because sometimes things just don't work out at all. And then sometimes things are romanticized and some things do work out like well, and that's why both of those types of endings are important.
Okay. I'm glad that there's both.
But the theatrical ending is too easy. Mm-hmm. It's lazy. And you can tell it was lazy because there's no way that this, like, how are you just going to have him basically jumpstart and electrocute a plant? I feel like it could have been, I saw a comment on YouTube. It's so funny that I got this from a comment on YouTube, but I was like really like looking into it because I was just like, I'm so confused. I'm not confused in like I don't understand, but like confused as in like
the choices
that were made. Right. And one of the comments was like, well, like it felt too easy that he just electrocuted it. Like I feel like maybe he could have like the plant Audrey 2 was trying to eat Audrey, and like maybe he could go in and try to save her, and then he ends up like losing an arm or something. So like there's like there's a cost for it. Yeah. And like it feels like it wasn't so easy because they build it up to be like this giant plant like big fight, and then it's over because he electrocuted him. Mm-hmm. Too easy. So like it's like, oh, it came at a cost. He like lost something in return to have this happy life. Right. And then that's like a way that the ending could be happy is because there was a loss or something.
Right. And it's also really short. It's like a tenth of
it
happens like this.
Yeah.
Which is just, they're both, like I said, they're both completely different.
I think they probably just wrote that ending just because like, they're just like, well, I guess people just want the stupid happy ending.
Yeah, the screenwriter was like, okay, fine.
And I think it was interesting, somebody pointed out also in the YouTube comments of the theatrical ending was like, I think it's interesting that they didn't show Audrey and Seymour kissing, and like they weren't like super like intimate, even though they were married together.
Wait, they don't kiss the whole movie?
No, they do kiss in the movie, but at the end they
it.
just hug. And I think somebody said in the comment, I'm so sorry if I don't know if this person is never going to see it, but they said that I think that was nice that they just had them hug, because I think their relationship wasn't ever like super overtly sexual. They're both very like sensitive people that just wanted to simply be loved.
Yeah, they wanted.
And I was like, I read that comment and I was like, oh my god! I was like, yeah, I love Audrey and Seymour.
So your like feeling on this ending is reminding me. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it. Kind of different musical. Have you ever seen Sweet Charity, the version with Gwen Verdon? Mm-mm. Okay, so it's like one of Bob Fosse's earlier works, and it's not like cult musical like in this kind of spooky way, but it kind of is. It's like got that really weird Bob Fosse vibe, but the ending is weird. Like it doesn't really fit in the rest of the movie, and I don't want to spoil it for y'all, but I feel like you should watch it because it's got kind of that like it's going a certain direction, and all of a sudden you're like, wait, what?
Yeah, that's a pattern with all the movies here. It's definitely they all take a turn. Right. Wait, what's it called again?
A Sweet Charity. I think it's from. I don't remember when it's from. I want to say the 70s, but I could be totally wrong.
They're all from this era. We haven't had a recent one.
Absolutely.
Like a recent cult musical
because
movie.
I don't think people in the age that are like people that are writing stuff I don't think they're into that.
That's bizarre.
No, like I'm thinking about people my parents' age and like people my parents' age, I feel like aren't
it's
like
really hard to make like a successful musical too. You think about it, like there's only been a few movie musicals over the last few years, like Greatest Showman.
No one can do anything original anymore.
Right. It's really hard to make a successful musical. Like all the live musicals we were talking about, they're like bad, you know?
Yeah. Well, The Greatest Showman.
I liked it.
I hate it.
I love that movie.
I don't love it, but in terms of musicals, it was really successful for being a movie.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like in a couple of years, that's going to be considered a cult musical. It was not La La Land status. Like La La Land is going to be like it's huge. But Greatest Showman, give it 10 years.
I wouldn't say cult musical.
And you sing me one of those songs in 10 years.
I think Greatest Showman's going to be more along the lines of like Hairspray. It's going to be a relatively popular movie musical, and it's going to kind of like stay as like a popular movie musical.
Like, yeah, it's about offbeat people, but it's also like not.
It's also not about them.
There's too many anthems, too many anthems that people like know and recognize. And I think part of what makes like these cult musicals that we're talking about, cult musicals, is the actual music too. Like these are all like rock or like 60s doo-wop or like really like subversive from the musical genre. You know what I mean? Like the music is it's not like a power ballad or anything like that. And I think that's part of it.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. I just she just
served you. Yeah,
really did.
Yeah. I was like, yeah,
with receipts too.
Yeah, it's true though.
Oh,
yeah. I think also like the same people that wrote La La Land is the same people that wrote the music for Greatest Showman. So.
No way, I didn't know that. Oh wait, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was Classic and Paul.
The music is very different though.
They also did. They've done a lot of stuff. They did.
Yeah, they're very talented. They're a very talented group duo.
I'm glad they have the range.
Yeah,
I hated The Greatest Showman.
I don't know if there's no Dear Evan Hansen at all.
They did Dear Evan Hansen? The way I didn't know that.
They did
at all
too. What did they do?
Yeah, I know they did. I can't remember.
I don't know.
What are their names? It's two guys, right?
It's Pasek and Paul are their last names. I don't know their first names.
I was looking it up. I need to know now, or is not gonna. Okay, well, while you look that up. Okay, so I heard about this a couple years ago, but there was nothing really, like, there was no big news on it. And then I looked it up yesterday, and they're making a remake of Little Shop of Horrors. And I looked up the cast, and I don't understand if this is the real cast. Wait, is that who it is?
There's
that's the
two
composer.
Of them.
Yeah,
That's the Justin Horowitz.
Is it that one?
No,
the composer is not the writer.
That's the composer. Yeah, I know. I'm aware.
Oh, it's right there. Justin Paul?
Yeah, it's both of them together.
Yeah.
T.
So it's Justin
When you
Paul
Google
and-
it, when you Google it, only comes with Justin Paul.
Google is
No.
so annoying.
Sorry, Justin
very
Paul.
basic.
Okay, so I'm gonna read you guys the casting. 3 have been rumored. 1 is
For Little Shop of
cast,
Horrors.
the remake.
Oh my god, I'm scared.
Directed by Greg Berlanti, who did wait, I don't know if that's right. It's on the Google Doc. He did Love, Simon and like all the CW superhero shows.
Okay.
Interesting choice, right?
I'm scared.
So
now I'm attached to this musical.
yeah, okay. I can't wrap my hand around these choices. So Seymour is rumored to be played by Taron Egerton,
No.
which like
No.
okay.
No. No.
I'm gonna do Audrey last because I screamed when I read this.
No. Hold on. Can we talk about it?
Each choice, okay.
Okay. Taron. I love Taron. I think he was good in
too
Rocket
buff.
Man. I think he's too buff. He does not have the same charm as Seymour. Absolutely not. There's so many different types
Ben
of
Platt. Ben Platt
could do it. And like that
More
still would have been a big
underdog.
name.
Even
Yeah,
more
that's
of an
true.
underdog.
Yeah.
Like, and
Yes.
even if we're going for name people, I would say like maybe Jordan Fisher.
Yeah, Jordan Fisher would have been
Absolutely.
great.
I'm pretty
Well,
sure he's done it on Broadway before though.
Oh.
Probably, I don't doubt it.
They're not casting
Broadway.
yet, so you're
Broadway
fine.
loves Jordan Fisher, and I'm okay with it.
America loves well, maybe not. I love Jordan Fisher.
I think Gen Z loves Jordan Fisher.
There we go.
Yes,
I love
I'm
Jordan.
a big fan.
Can't name a single thing he's in, but
What?
To All the Boys I Loved Before too.
Yeah.
Teen Beach Movie.
He literally.
do those sound like my
Evan Hansen.
I am
He
not the
played. He
demographic.
replaced. He was
Yeah.
on Evan Hansen. He like right before, like
he
up
played
until Corona.
he played Evan Hansen?
Yeah, he played Evan Hansen.
Did not know.
A little bit.
He's in Teen Beach Movie.
Oh, I knew from that. That's how I like discovered like that's how I knew he existed. God, not your disappointment that I don't know what Jordan Fisher's in. You think I've seen To All the Boys I've Loved Before? 1 and 2?
Sure.
No, I have not, and I don't plan on it.
And he played Philip. Oh, you don't Hamilton.
No, I don't.
He played Philip on Hamilton.
Anyway.
/ John Adams. Or
So, yeah,
not John Adams.
that's-
whatever the fuck.
That's
John
the that's the rumor. None of these are cast yet. So
Taron Egerton, no.
no. We're all decided.
You hear that? You hear that casting for little? No. Try harder.
Try
Yes.
harder.
Try harder.
Okay.
How are you gonna?
Okay.
We're just
Audrey
trying
2.
again.
Yeah, Audrey 2. I actually really like this casting. Billy Porter as the voice for
yes.
Audrey 2.
Fine.
Absolutely. Here for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has the power to do
Yes.
that, like
Okay.
his the voice to do it.
Yeah. Yes.
Orange Scrivello, the dentist,
Who's that?
the dentist, Chris Evans, is gonna.
Is he casted?
I think he's one of the ones that's casted.
You're lying.
Chris
Chris Evans?
which Chris Evans
mean-
has range.
I'm not mad about that.
I
But
feel
it was
like he can do
not
it.
what I was expecting.
I'm just shocked.
Right? Can he sing? I've never heard him sing.
Never heard.
If they can make Bradley Cooper sing, they can make anybody
Good
sing.
point. Honestly, I'm okay
Right.
with this one.
I'm satisfied. But the dentist too,
I'm more
like
just shocked than anything, but
Yeah.
could be fun.
I think especially with his portrayal in Knives Out, I really want to see him in more
More villain roles. He's so good as a
He's
villain.
so good. He's a really good actor.
Yeah.
He's a really good.
So-
Like I hate giving a white man credit, but he's a really good actor.
really good. Yeah.
Yeah, Chris Evans is great.
Why am I crying?
Are you good?
Because I just think about his growth. Like
Why are you crying?
From the Fantastic Four to Knives Out.
Yeah.
And then I know, like even further than that, not another teen movie. Like what? And then he got to be Captain America, and he was in Scott. Like
Well, okay.
I never ever have had this much emotion about Chris Evans in my life.
I think.
No, it's because I'm on my period.
Okay, that explains it. I
I
was
was like, literally why am I crying about Chris Evans? I've never had this, like, I've never cared about Chris Evans that much.
my contacts are gonna fall out. Like I felt them moving around from the like tears in my eyes from laughing. Okay, well this next one you're gonna have the opposite reaction in my opinion because I literally gasped out loud. So Audrey is rumored to be played by Scarlett Johansson.
No.
I would take Victoria Justice over Scarlett
Absolutely.
Johansson.
Yeah,
It's
and
just-
that's saying something.
I'm trying to
Saying
imagine.
something.
Like okay, here's the thing. Scarlett Johansson is a great actress. She cannot do this role. I'm sorry.
No.
She cannot do this
Her
role.
voice is
No.
10 octaves too deep, first of all.
Yeah. Audrey
How are
has
you gonna have MJ as Audrey on like Broad or off Broadway? I don't know where it was.
off Broadway.
But off Broadway, and then do Scarlett Johansson for
Well, once
have
again,
Hollywood. Hey, remember, we don't want white people in every fucking role. We can
No.
diversify, especially when it comes to musicals. Especially when it comes to musicals, because it's
cult musicals, especially, you can be like, you can spice things up. And like the cast for this, if you look at it, it's like Billy Portman and 3 white people. Which like the voice of the original Audrey 2 was also a black man. But I love Billy Porter. And then these 3 other people, yes, they were all white in the original movie, but there's nothing, you don't have to keep them white.
Scarlett Johansson, you're already the highest paid woman in Hollywood. Why do you need that?
She definitely doesn't.
Just
Why does she need to ruin that
take your
for us?
bag.
Yeah, I don't
No.
even, and the outfit, I can't picture her wearing.
Tears gone.
Yeah, I told you were gonna have the exact opposite
I'm
reaction.
mad.
They're all rumored. They're not cast yet officially. I think Billy Porter's the only one that's like, I am signed on.
Good. As he should.
I am okay with Chris Evans. I am not okay with the leads.
I really want Audrey to be a transgender woman.
Absolutely.
She
Because-
needs to be. That would be huge.
What we're
to see
referring
that
to
on a big
is
screen.
that MJ Rodriguez.
I think it's Rodriguez.
She played Audrey on
Yeah.
Off Broadway. She's the actress in Pose.
And that went viral on YouTube.
Yeah.
Viral.
The way that I didn't know she could
performance.
sing, and she sang in Pose.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like I
It
just
didn't click.
assumed-
I saw it. I literally, for the longest time, I didn't realize I was the same person.
Mhm.
And then when you said that, I was like, what? Like, why did I not realize? She had short hair and glasses, and I was confused.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't the same Audrey look, but
Yeah.
so anyway, it's casting suggestions. Does anyone have any? We've discussed the Seymour ones, but I don't. For Audrey, I genuinely do not know who could do the same, because this is a
You
very.
could have
specific one.
MJ because she's already proved that she
That's
could.
true.
I'm not entirely
think, like,
familiar with many transgender actors besides the ones on Pose.
But not only that, but they have to have the vocal range.
So this person is not an actress, but a very talented transgender musician. Do you guys listen to Kim Petras? Yeah. Think
Oh,
about that. Just
hold
saying.
on.
Yeah.
The girls and the gays are shaking.
Ella-
The girls and
Ella
the gays
just
are
did
shaking.
something.
I just single-handedly cast this production.
Okay, if Kim Petras and Jordan Fisher with Chris Evans and Billy Porter, sign me up. I will be first in line. I don't care. I will
Yep.
wear a mask. I'll do what I have to do.
I will do what I have
I
to
will
do
be
to see
there
that.
first in line.
Yes.
That was so,
That was so
You're
good.
mine.
That was so good.
You.
I can't stop thinking about it. I'm like hearing it in my head.
And we know it's probably not gonna happen because Hollywood doesn't listen.
Well, if Hollywood, if you're listening, we're literally begging you. Like, please not.
Any person in Hollywood.
Anybody.
I don't know how this is gonna get to them, but I can't with Scarlett Johansson and turning.
If you really think we want Scarlett, if you think Gen Z wants Scarlett Johansson in anything,
you are wrong.
you are wrong.
Also,
She got her bag, to be honest.
who it was before,
Retire.
like who it was rumored to be before, was Rebel Wilson, who I also don't want.
Huh?
No.
I don't.
No.
Her singing feels like joke singing. In my
It is.
opinion.
Girl, absolutely
Right.
not.
I also think it's important about Little Shop to like, okay, I feel like it's kind of a cult musical for like the film, but the actual musical itself, like in theater communities, is not very like much like a cult musical. It's kind of just looked at as a regular musical.
Mhm. Yeah.
So if people are talking about making this and wanting audiences, they're gonna want all those theater community and people who just like the musical, and they can't ruin it by putting these people in it. You know what I mean? They need to
yeah.
Yeah.
do better.
I definitely think there's gonna be huge backlash if they announce that this is the official cast. In my opinion.
I just got mad at Scarlett Johansson. Like, I'm literally so upset about it. Like, dude, like, just stick to the Oscar dramas. Like, we don't need you in any.
And the Avengers. That's your lane.
That's your lane.
Not that she can't do other things, but just not this.
Not this, love. Not
No,
this,
She
love.
can even have rom-coms. She can
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
have rom-coms.
Yeah.
She's not that into you, sure. But
Give ScarJo her rom-com.
Yeah. Give her another one.
Dude,
Cast
she
it at the
needs-
same
she
time
needs
as this
to
one.
go in like a Reese Witherspoon kind of direction now.
Or like
Because Reese Witherspoon definitely stays in her damn lane. and and she's good at it.
Absolutely.
I would love to see her in like a Little Fires Everywhere moment.
Oh yeah, great for ScarJo.
Great.
ScarJo.
I just think it's so funny that Holly called her ScarJo. So I think I just try to use that every opportunity I possibly can.
It's just so weird.
ScarJo.
Okay.
She can't sing though.
Beyonce are the weirdest couple on the planet, but that's
I don't get it. I really
Wait,
don't.
who?
Colin Jones.
Oh, I was very caught off guard when that was announced. I was like, huh?
I didn't even know they were married. I had no clue.
So weird.
It's bizarre.
So
anyway, you guys have heard our opinions on the show.
Damn, we talked about that for so long.
Literally a good 40 minutes. Anyway, let's move on to the last main point that we're talking about. Not at all spooky, but it's one of the biggest cult musicals. That's even like a thing, like a big cult musical.
Oh yeah, wait, hold on. Little Shop of Horrors is actually terrifying, especially about like when you, because I was texting Daniel while I was watching it, and I was like, this commentary on capitalism is kind of everything.
Right.
This commentary on like it's not just a musical. It's definitely much of very, especially if you're anti-capitalism, if you're anti-influencer, if you're anti all that, watch Little Shop of Horrors.
It's for communists.
That is my piece.
Right. And before we get into like Hedwig, because obviously there's no movie or anything, it's like really just the musical.
No, there's
like,
a movie.
I think there is a movie, but I'm not gonna.
We don't claim her.
No, and we will discuss that because I sat through that movie and I was like, anyway, go ahead.
Well, so what I think is important about like the movies versus the musicals, like the live theater, is the way that they're filmed is like meant to be kind of bad. You know what I mean? You think about that scene in Little Shop right at the beginning when they do the like, wow, what an amazing plant. And then they all keep coming through the door saying the exact same thing. Or in Rocky Horror, like, Brad, Rocky, Janet, Brad. You know what I mean? Like those things that are like not written well, and they damn well knew that going into it. And so I think that's what kind of makes it like Hedwig is a little bit different because it is like the modern version of this.
It feels more artsy, A24-y than these other two. They're very different, but it was still musical, so I wanted to talk about it.
So they tried to make it.
Well,
they tried.
Okay, I saw the movie because I was like, well, there's no way I watched like clips of like the Broadway versions online, but I was like, I need to know the full story. I'm not one of those people that can listen to the songs and be like, I know the musical. Like, I need to see it, you know? So it was starring, written, and directed by John Cameron Mitchell. So
star, written, and directed.
Yes.
That's the first problem.
Okay.
Sorry. It is.
So
the only person that's ever like pulled that off, well, directed, and I don't know if he wrote it.
Rachel Bloom.
I mean, yes.
I love Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
I was thinking more of like Ben Affleck and Argo because I love Argo. I hate things about war and stuff, but I loved Argo for some reason.
Wait, who wrote Star Is Born? Oh, not him. Never mind. Anyway, I was trying to think of a triple threat, but not Bradley Cooper. Okay.
Bradley could never.
He's in Shrill.
Did John Cameron Mitchell write the Broadway musical? Do you know?
I don't think so.
Okay.
So I don't reckon.
I don't even know where to start because
he did.
Okay. So
I don't think he wrote the music, but he wrote the book. Yeah.
The story. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, it's a book? I did not know.
No, book. That's in.
Oh, is that the term?
That's the term. So it's like the music and lyrics, and then the book is like the script and story.
Hey guys, can you tell I'm not a theater kid? Like I literally don't know any of these things.
At heart, emphasis on at heart.
At heart I am. In literal terms, I do not know what's going on ever.
His character in Shrill is good. Side note.
Okay, T. Anyway, so this story is about a transgender woman that is like a I want to say failed. That's what I think was happening. I was very confused, but a failed rock star because she had a fling with another character that became a famous rock singer. And it's basically about her journey, like coming to America, where I think they are, and like trying to make it in music and also navigating her love life. So
chasing after an ex-lover who plagiarized her songs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So she's trying to get him to admit that. I don't even think she wanted money. I think she just wanted him to admit that it was her music.
It's the principle of thing.
Yeah. Okay. I don't even know where to start. Ella, thoughts on Hedwig?
So I love the music. I think it's really fun.
Absolutely.
I think there's like the music, like there's a little bit of something for everyone. You know, it's not just like one genre. There's a little bit for everyone. I think it's really shocking.
Yeah.
And like I don't like I feel like I don't really have that much to say. Like I know everybody who's ever seen it like live absolutely loves it and I've never heard a bad thing about seeing the live production. I personally haven't, but I really love the music and I think it tells a good story about representation. I don't know if it's always done in who's portraying these people, but
yeah. Okay,
I've never seen the entire musical. I've only seen clips of Neil Patrick Harris and Darren Criss.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before we get into the casting, because the way I don't know. Okay. Anyway, so
you're like exasperated.
I don't want to, because this is a musical that a lot of people hold. I was looking online. People, this is very personal to some people. And before I don't want to say I don't want to offend anyone. I don't want to offend anyone's experience. I don't think I was the audience intended for this movie. Great story. Great visuals, the way it's directed and how the songs are built into the musical in terms of the movie version. I know nothing about the Broadway version. I'm referring just to the film version. Done very well. I don't like the character of Hedwig because she's throughout the movie, she seems very, I don't know, and just, okay, the whole love story, right? When she meets this person, they are 17. And Hedwig is well above legal age. In the movie, I don't know how it is in this. I don't know if they even mention it, but in the movie, they very specifically mention that. What's the character's name? Can you scroll up a little bit? I don't remember the character's name, and I don't want to keep saying like the love interest, but the character is 17, and they have a sexual interaction. And as soon as this happened, I mentally checked out, and I was like, "This makes me very uncomfortable."
That is not a real name.
It's Tommy. Tommy.
Okay.
So I don't know. I was talking to Kim a little bit about this when I was watching the movie, and I don't know, I don't know. I don't like when like LGBTQ characters are written as predatory, aka Call Me by Your Name. I think it's a problem. I think we need more like LGBTQ relationships that are around the same age. I don't know.
But the history behind it, like especially if you watch Disclosure, it's on Netflix. Yeah. Because the history of transgender characters, they've been portrayed as predatory and like mentally ill and not stable, which is they're functioning human beings. And
exactly.
They're definitely like they're regular people.
Exactly, and
that are functioning correctly.
Treats everyone horribly throughout the entire movie.
Okay,
and it's
rock
more
star
like
mentality.
Yeah, it's like she's taking everyone and using it for her journey, which like okay. Yeah, she went through a lot.
She's the living embodiment of she thinks she's the main character. I mean, technically she is.
Yeah.
But like she takes that shit to heart.
Oh my God, I'm not talking about Hedwig. I know a lot of people love this musical. I'm sorry, but for me, when I first witnessed just the movie, I didn't know anything about it. I did not like it. I'm just gonna say I did not like it. Very beautifully directed. The ending, like the last 20 minutes, go off into like dreamland. So it's like you don't know what's going on. I don't know. Some people were like, "Oh, the Tommy and Hedwig were the same person all along," and I was like, I don't know. But let's talk about the casting because I think it's very interesting how this character is.
Have you watched the movie, Ella?
No, I haven't seen the movie.
It's on HBO Max. It's worth a watch.
Oh, it's on HBO Max?
Yeah, it's worth a watch.
I need to get on that.
HBO Max is so good. I think it's worth a watch. I don't think it's not a bad movie.
How much is HBO Max?
$11.99.
Okay, not us.
It's so worth it.
Take it out of the editing. We're not giving HBO Max until they actually sponsor us.
Okay, that's true, Mace.
Hashtag spons.
No, literally me being like
that sounded like an ad. That literally the way I said that. Like how much HBO Max?
And what do you?
Yeah. Anyway.
You can get Hedwig. You can get original content. Anyways, HBO Max ran our line.
Exactly. So yeah. Okay. So on Broadway, the ones that I have written down are Neil Patrick Harris, Darren Criss, and I also think the guy from Panic at the Disco did it.
Yeah, Brendan Urie. The guy from Panic at the Disco.
Do you think I remember his name at this moment? My brain is so frazzled.
I think
he did a run of.
He did Broadway. Kinky Boots. I know he did that.
That's what I'm confusing it with. It's because the poster with the little shoes.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of.
Okay.
That's a completely different thing.
I was like, yeah, literally one of the first things that popped up. That
Okay.
picture lives in my mind.
The one of him with the boots.
Yeah.
I think I was picturing the boots, and it's because Hedwig wears some kind of boots that look like that, so they both combined in my brain. Okay, so this character is a transgender character. It is not a drag queen. It is a transgender character. It's a transgender woman. So for it to be played by Neil Patrick Harris is a gay man, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But Darren Criss, straight.
He's a straight man. Yeah.
He's a what?
A straight man.
Oh,
Straight man.
I thought she said some sort of term. I was like, what is that?
No, he is a straight man.
Yeah.
So.
To our knowledge. Sorry.
Oh,
take
yeah.
that out.
No, I'm pretty sure he said.
He's,
Okay.
he's married to a woman.
Yeah, he is.
He's been very clear that he is
straight.
Which is also weird to me that he's also like, I'm so straight. Like he.
Yeah, I think that's why I say that,
yeah.
because like, he's so. I mean, I guess because he plays a lot of gay characters.
Yeah.
That's a different problem in itself.
Yeah,
Well, I think part of it was like, especially after Glee, like all anyone would ask him about is like, oh, we're like you and Chris together, and he'd be like, love Chris, great coworker, but we're like, I'm straight, you know.
True,
yeah.
True. I do love Darren Criss. I want to clear that up.
Yeah.
I'm truly obsessed with him.
This is
actually.
not a.
Yes.
This is not a.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're not a. We're not
like,
attacking.
especially when I found out he was half Filipino like me, I literally was like, I'm floored. I love this man. I didn't think I could love this man even more.
When things open back up, we should go to his bar.
Tramp Stamp. Yes, I want to go to Tramp Stamp Granny so bad.
Yes, let's
Where
go to
is
Tramp
that?
It's in LA. Where else would it be?
Yeah, I think
Oh my
it's in like
God.
West Hollywood or something.
Yeah, and they have like theme nights, and like sometimes he'll show up and just start singing.
Yeah, it's a piano bar. He'll like come and play piano.
Wait,
yeah.
that's so cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry,
Always
Darren.
wanted to go. Sorry.
But
I'm so excited.
I see an issue with casting a straight man as a transgender woman character. And I know in Broadway, there's like traditions for how certain characters are casted. For example, Tracy's mom in Hairspray is always a man in drag, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So I don't know. Thoughts like I just think
it's just a lack of conversation and dialogue about why. I think theater, correct me if I'm wrong, is very much into tradition, and like when people try to go against tradition, it's very much like, no, we don't go against tradition.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it is rooted in stereotypes that have been around forever. Yeah. So like Edna Turnblad, who's Tracy's mom in Hairspray, like she's this very like she's a large woman. It's a huge part of the plot line. She's this large, loud, bossy, controlling woman. And so they were like, oh, like because she's big and loud, she must be like deep and almost masculine. And so let's just have a man play her. Hence John Travolta playing her. That's a whole other thing to think about. But a lot of those things are rooted in stereotypes. And so even though Hedwig is a relatively new musical in terms of musicals.
Yeah, definitely.
It's still like, oh, if we're having a transgender woman, let's just mess around and not do the right thing.
Because like in the terms of the movie, I don't know how the musical plays out. We only see Hedwig's like we only see like 2 scenes that are like flashbacks before her transition. And the main part of the story and the title of the movie is that she had a botched surgery. And so that's a main plot of the story. And so I'm just like, I don't know. When I was watching the movie, I was like, I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about this. Because like this is very important to a lot of LGBTQ people, transgender people. But I was just like, I feel like we can do better at representing these communities than this, in my opinion. Yeah. But also I wouldn't know because that is not my experience as a person. So I don't know.
Yeah, maybe there's truth in like the way like in her transition, maybe there's truth in that, and that's why it's so important to people, because like that there's not much for them to grab into when it comes to media on their that experience.
There's really
so maybe that's why it means so much to people.
Yeah, and the music is amazing.
Yeah,
it is so good.
I've listened to the soundtrack. Incredible.
And the story is very emotional. Like you get into this world, but I was just like, I don't know about Hedwig. I don't know about Hedwig, guys.
Maybe some rewrites.
I think if they did the movie again and they changed some things up and made it a little bit more, for today's audiences, I think it would be great.
So the big thing is just having a love interest that is not underage.
Yeah, and also maybe not a straight man as Hedwig.
Yes.
Definitely. Anyway.
Yes.
Yeah. The way that conversation from Little Shop of Horrors to this one was a complete 360. Yeah. And Riverdale did an episode. So I have not seen it.
I've seen the clips. I've seen the highlight reel.
Okay.
I watched the whole thing.
Thoughts?
I'm so sorry that you put your
so they have Kevin Keller.
Okay.
So the whole plot line is that Kevin Keller, who's like the only openly gay character besides his several hookups who eventually come out. I don't know.
The two girls are. There's a shirt of Hot Topic that says Choni.
Cheryl. Sorry, there is Cheryl and Cheryl and what's her name?
I only know, guys, I don't watch the show. I just need to clarify this. I only know this because on Hot Topic they have a shirt and it's both of them and it says #Choni. Okay, guys.
I don't watch the show, but I definitely watch recap videos about the show because I need to know what the hell is going on.
I've seen it all, but because I love bad television, I live on terrible television. So it's what fuels me. It's what's getting.
You're brave because Riverdale is like bad.
Yeah,
like, Riverdale's bad.
Yeah. Quarantine.
I feel the same way, but like that was too bad for me.
Yeah, no, it's. I love it. What can I say?
Yeah, no,
we accept you.
More power to you.
Right, thank you. It's my specialty. Someone has to watch it, right?
Exactly.
So this episode is oh my god, this episode is actually just Kevin wants to sing Hedwig in the talent show. He's like putting on the talent show, wants to sing Hedwig, and their new principal is like, no, this is not allowed, whatever. And Kevin's like,
no, with the red heart.
You're not letting me express myself, not letting me express my gender and interest and whatever, which is like, yeah, true, go for it. Mm-hmm. And then they like basically just decide to do all these like flash mob style numbers. So like Kevin does one in school and all the guys dress up in drag, and then the principal's like, yeah, and all of you just like disrupted class. You all like threw glitter everywhere. We're singing really inappropriately, like making out in the halls, and like made all these good points. And then like Cheryl breaks out into Sugar Daddy in the middle of the diner, and he's like, was that supposed to prove a point? You're singing to me, your principal, about wanting a sugar daddy? Like, what is going on here? And so then they basically just like give up and have the talent show at Veronica's bar. Her speakeasy. Sorry.
Speakeasy. Well,
and then they like have a revenge fantasy about killing their principal, but that's a different episode.
What?
I literally don't have thoughts.
Instead, get him arrested.
I genuinely have nothing to say. I don't even.
Right.
I watched the Sugar Daddy, like, I remember that one in particular. I was like, no. They really do Cheryl's character, like, really awfully, especially in these musicals.
All, yeah. And so that's the thing. It's like, I, as someone who, like, was a theater kid in high school, I like these musical episodes, even though they're so bad, because I know, like, all my friends and I were singing all of these, whatever, but, like, okay, Heathers, I love. Carrie, I love. This one, I was like, no, it makes sense why they're not doing it. It's really inappropriate. Like, this is not, all the ones they picked are incredibly inappropriate, even Heathers and Carrie. Like, only choose the ones that are not appropriate for high schoolers to be doing, because there's, like, a lot of really important conversations that you can't have on that level.
And I think
especially with the way they treat just people in the Riverdale world.
Yeah. Well, how you were saying that, like, one of the numbers is literally like the guys get up and drag to perform a Hedwig number. And I think that's the problem that I have with how people.
They could have had a great dialogue about it, but they didn't.
Yeah, like Hedwig is it's a transgender character. It's not a drag queen, and I think that distinction is very important, and people get it confused.
A lot of people get it confused.
Like, I literally did, when I didn't know anything about the musical, I thought it was about a drag queen, and then when I watched the movie, I was like, oh, not at all.
Yeah.
Right. And people always lump it up with Kinky Boots.
Yeah, literally me. I'm so sorry, I didn't know.
Yeah, Kinky Boots is about a drag queen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think it's good that they would make these things into like actual films, because it does get an audience. And like, I understand the castings of like, not Scarlett Johansson, but like Billy Porter, like people that make sense that are also have the star power. Like that makes sense, because you're educating a broader audience about possibly the difference, possibly, it depends. I say possibly because it depends on how they write it and how they write it for the screen. Like, differences between a transgender woman and a drag queen. It's so different. It's so different. And we need to have more conversations about that because I still feel like that's something that we don't talk about.
Absolutely.
Right.
100%. And it's not like it's mutually exclusive either. It's not like there's set like it's very much a fluid. And I feel like the LGBTQ plus community in general is very, I feel like it's much more fluid, and people just like to have labels, just like stick on things to like make it make sense for them. But that's not the case. Humans are very multifaceted and multi-layered, and we need to stop that narrative that people are just one thing and that's it for the rest of their life.
And that's the only thing going on in their life.
Yeah, that is, that's their personality trait, right? Which is not the case at all. Tired of it. On a brighter note, other cult musicals that haven't been made into musicals or movies yet.
Movie musicals.
These are both also horror.
Musicals.
The ones that the off the top of my head that I could think of. They're both based off of like horror. Is Heather's horror?
Not horror, but definitely spooky. Definitely not horror.
I think the right genre would be.
I don't know what the right genre would be either.
I'd put it with horror. Like if I was on Netflix, I'd put it with a horror movie.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
So what I think is interesting about Heather's musical is obviously it's based off a movie. We all know that. It was never actually on Broadway.
I didn't know that.
It never. It was off Broadway, and like whoever the Broadway official people are didn't pick it up.
Yeah.
And then it got pretty popular in like theater communities 2016.
Yeah, and then it got on the West End. It opened on the West End.
Yeah.
My deepest regret is not going to see Carrie Hope Fletcher in that. Because I was in London when it was happening, and because I didn't have money when I was in London, I just literally spent all my money to get to London, and then when I got there, I was like, I don't have any money. But if I had money, you best believe I would have been at the Heather's musical, because I've watched the slime tutorial on YouTube for that.
Right. Yeah. And also, I think part of the popularity too is the lead in it is Barrett Wilbur Reed, who is obviously pretty popular in the Broadway community. She's in Mean Girls. She plays Janet. People like follow them. That's like a really Gen Z thing I've noticed, is people love to follow like Broadway actors and actresses and like their pathways. Like it's
me with Renee Rapp right now. I'm fully enamored with Renee Rapp. Right. She's the current she's the current Regina on Mean Girls Broadway, if you don't know.
I didn't.
Oh my God, I'm literally so obsessed with her. She's so young too. She's younger than us. And she's already Regina George on Broadway. Really? Because she got the Jimmy Award though. Yeah. So like
that's so annoying to me when people are younger than us and that's successful.
Absolutely.
The Jimmy Award is like the high school Tonys, essentially. I would say, right? Kind of.
Sure. Yeah.
Wait, how old is she? I hate
She's
those.
only like 19.
I don't want to know, actually. Like when I hear like
sad for the rest of the day.
No, same here. Like when Shawn Mendes is when you're younger than me, and
she's 20.
Just put that.
She was born in the year 2000. Not that sink in.
And,
she looks like that
we
too.
Need to change topic.
She looks like that.
Please
She's
stop.
beautiful and she sings gorgeously. Anyways, back to Heather's.
Yeah.
So my first exposure to the Heather's musical, I mean, like I knew about it because I loved the Heathers in high school, and then
you like that movie?
Yeah,
for some reason that surprises me. That does not seem like your kind of movie.
I think it was probably because I was in love with
Christian Slater.
Yes, Christian Slater.
Okay,
probably, and Winona Ryder. Right. Okay, I was fully obsessed with Johnny Depp and Winona Ryder's relationship. I know that's weird, but like I feel like a lot of people have that same experience.
Yeah. That was a big cultural thing.
Yeah, like so much to the point where I was convinced I was gonna get a Winona.
Exactly.
I was gonna get a Winona Forever tattoo. Like I was like fully like
you should.
invested. Yeah, I still should. I probably will.
I would be down for that.
I'm literally obsessed with Winona Ryder. And the fact that she was ahead of her time and she got canceled for shoplifting, but no, she was ahead of her time.
She was.
She was ahead of time. And she was diagnosed with kleptomania. I'm pretty sure she was diagnosed with it. Anyways, she was ahead of her time. If that happened now, people would be like, yes, Winona.
Yeah.
But
get that bag.
Gen Z has Winona Ryder's back. Absolutely. What I'm saying. So yeah, I was obsessed with Winona, and then I was obsessed with Christian Slater. And so I was just like, yeah, good time. Great time. And then when I got to when I got to college, I saw that the local community college in my area was doing a rendition of the Heathers musical. And I was like, I've always wanted to see it, so let's go. And the fact that, okay, Moore Park College, I'm going to give it a shout out. Their freaking theater program is spectacular. They also did Little Shop of Horrors the next year. And that was iconic. That was truly iconic. Like, give it up. Give it up for Moore Park College. Okay. Like, seriously. And, like, I was floored. That's so interesting. It was so good. And then, like, I fully became obsessed after that. So a community college got me obsessed with the Heathers musical, and then I started watching all the YouTube videos and like get like understanding like the difference between off Broadway and like regular Broadway and like stuff like that. So
that's what got you into
yes that? Yeah. I like more like because I didn't realize like off Broadway was a thing.
Me either.
So that gave me knowledge on it. So many good things that never leave
this is like not at all related, but I just when you were just talking I was like, okay, interesting. I think it's very interesting that horror movies are turned into musicals.
Mm-hmm. It's more digestible, I think, to more people.
I think it's because yes, but also I think it's because horror stories tell very specific, weird storylines that aren't like that are kind of morbid sometimes. Yeah, and theater loves that, and so
people don't want to see Love Actually the musical. They don't want to see. You know what I mean?
No,
but I saw exactly. But I saw on Twitter someone was like, "Oh, Midsummer the musical." I would be first in line.
Oh my gosh, I would audition.
That, no?
Yeah, exactly. Like it's just horror movies as musicals. It sounds so like it shouldn't
work. Someone has to have a video essay on YouTube about it.
Absolutely.
Somebody has to. I love the songs. I literally
Heathers?
Yes. Okay. Beautiful really is my shower song.
Yes.
I like know that back to front and front to back. I love Freeze Your Brain. I love Ryan McCartan, which is so funny that I didn't remember that he was Brad. And I think he's
Wait, who does he play? Oh, we discussed this. It doesn't matter.
JD. He plays JD. And then I think it's just cool to see. And then also Dead Girl Walking. My God. Like watching that, I was literally front row in the community, that Moore Park College like rendition of it. And like, I didn't know that they literally simulate sex pretty much in front of you. And I was like, very uncomfortable because I was so confused. I was like, wait, I was like, oh, she's on top of him. Okay. And then they like started like simulating sex. And I was like, oh, but it was like literally like 5 feet in front of me. And so I was like, oh my God. I was like so confused. I'm sure if it was like on an actual like stage, I would be a little bit more comfortable with it. But the fact that it was literally happening, like I was looking down, like watching the, I was like, oh my God.
That was so dumb.
Anyways, I'm obsessed with it. I love it, and I will forever love it. And I love Barrett Willow-Reed. I saw her on Mean Girls Broadway while I was in New York, and I think she's great. But I think she needs to conserve her voice because I think Heather's like totally fucked up her vocal cords. Totally fucked it up. I literally watched a fucking YouTube compilation video of Barrett Willow-Reed's like vocal evolution.
The way I don't even know what to say right now.
Yeah, you thought you were a theater kid at heart? Yeah,
you went yourself down a spiral. I was like, literally nothing you're saying.
Anyways, that's my favorite. Heather's is my favorite cult musical.
Okay.
For me.
I'm with you. I also think another cult musical the music's by the same people. I'm totally forgetting their names. If you haven't seen it, Bat Boy, the musical.
Okay. I haven't seen it.
I've heard of that, and I don't know why.
It's really odd. My dad directed a production of it like 10 years ago.
Okay.
My dad he directs like local theater. And it's really good. It's like about this like weird creature, kind of Rocky Horror style. They have this weird like half bat, half man that like comes to town, and basically this family like takes him in and tries to protect him, and like all the local Christians are trying to kill him, and it's really good. You should.
That sounds right up my alley.
I don't know if there's like a full production online or anything, but yeah, give it a listen. Try to find it online because it's really good.
That's so interesting.
Very interesting.
You see what I mean? Like horror movies just work so well as musicals. I want to see more of those. But another one. This is the most recent one, definitely out of
so much history. I watched so many YouTube videos about this musical.
Okay, so Beetlejuice, the musical. If someone had told me they were like, "Oh yeah, this is gonna get popular," I would not. And I don't know why I thought it wasn't gonna work because it works perfectly.
It's amazing. It's immaculate.
I don't know why I was like,
and I'm so sad that it's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone. And I think it's just crazy, especially because it didn't do well, but you know what did bring it to the mainstream audiences? TikTok.
Yes, that's how
TikTok. And it after it got big on TikTok, ticket sales soaring. And they were doing so good, but then I will have resentment towards Hugh Jackman for this one. Hugh Jackman and Sutton Foster, I'm sorry, you have a little negative place in my heart now because of their they wanted to do the Music Man, or they are doing Music Man now, and once Broadway opens again, and they needed a venue, and they decided that the Winter Garden, they kicked them out.
Hugh Jackman gentrified Beetlejuice.
And Sutton Foster. Let's give them both like the thing. Yeah. I mean, totally. And the people that are behind it, but like Hugh Jackman and Sutton Foster, like they're huge names. And so they basically just kicked them out, like because they had to meet like a certain like sales of tickets, and because of like how bad it did at the beginning, because like Broadway, it's like when something moves from off Broadway to Broadway, huge difference. It's so much money. You have to be so fully invested and so sure that this thing is gonna try to make back its money. And Beetlejuice did not make back its money on schedule like it was supposed to in the beginning, but then after TikTok, it was it was going crazy. It was going crazy.
It looks expensive.
Yeah. Oh yes, it is. Go look on YouTube at all of the like set design choices, like all the things, like the way it's just iconic. I can't remember the guy's name that does the set design.
It's a Tim Burton movie, so absolutely it was going to be expensive. But when I saw the sandworms, for this, I was like, never have I ever seen that.
And it's practical. A lot of their stuff is practical. Majority of their stuff. I mean, they tried to do practical things over like the screen, which I feel like a lot of new musicals are relying on like a screen backdrop.
Literally, Dear Evan Hansen.
Mean Girls, Dear Evan Hansen, the new West Side Story, they're all relying on like a digital background, which is like honestly like it takes you out of the magic of theater.
Yeah, it's cheaper, but it doesn't work.
I'd rather see some man in a black suit like trying to change the sets than
exactly. I think that's the excitement part. It's like, oh, is it gonna work? Is it gonna work this time?
Yeah, literally,
like anything could go wrong.
Yeah, exactly. So, and it's just like it's crazy how creative they get, and I think, and it's really sad that it's gone.
Yeah,
it's literally just gone.
The way I didn't know any of that. I didn't know Broadway politics are so scary to me.
Yeah, like so interesting. I went down a rabbit hole
the other day because I didn't know.
Work mob, like it really is.
Yeah,
it's terrifying.
There's monopolies and like
I didn't know all of that, and I watched a video on it, and I was like, "This is the scariest thing. This terrifies me."
Yeah.
Because when you think of musicals, you're like, "Oh, happy, everyone loves each other." And I heard about that, and I was like, "This is the scariest thing that I've ever heard." Yeah. I didn't like that.
I hope, because I feel like especially Gen Z, I've noticed, loves musicals so much. I hope that in the future Broadway will thrive a little bit more, because it is very much a dying industry.
But also, it's very classist. Not a lot of people can afford to go to Broadway.
It's not.
shows.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, it's not accessible at all.
I mean, that's why Hamilton, like the Hamil film, was such a huge success, because so many people wanted to see it, because that was the most like accessible in the way of like anybody could listen to it and be interested and be entertained. And so that's why the film was such a big success, because everybody wanted to listen to it anyway, but tickets were hundreds and hundreds of dollars for like the worst seats ever. So it's really important that they make everything else accessible.
The balcony is like $1,000.
That's horrible.
It's crazy.
Never would I'm sorry.
I probably would.
Anything.
I'm literally obsessed with Hamilton.
Well,
like, I'm fully enamored.
I think how you're saying, like, the reason I think cult musicals are so popular is because a lot of times either no one's putting a production on near you, or you cannot afford to go to these big productions, so you can watch the movie. And I think that's why it's so important, because like they're doing a lot of these bigger ones in a film version. And it's more people can watch and more people can experience a story, especially since a lot of times there's stories of underrepresented communities. Sometimes. And it's like they're showing it for white people.
That leads back to the classism. Because the people that can afford it are old white people, and they want to see themselves on the stage. Because because any sort of entertainment, you're living vicariously through the characters on the screen. And like I said in like a past podcast, like you are automatically going to relate more to somebody that looks the same as you.
Yeah.
So that's why there's a lot of white characters on Broadway. And that's why I think off-Broadway, people should also pay attention more to off-Broadway. I just think a lot of people don't know that it's a thing. A lot of people just don't know it's a thing. And especially if you're into theater, like definitely look into your community, or like even if you want to start your own community in your thing, because off-Broadway, like they do it with a small budget. Like if you look at the Heathers like setup, it's not a crazy setup.
No.
Pretty standard like high school set, like you would at any theater.
Exactly. So I just hope, because now it's more accessible with movies and social media and slime tutorials on YouTube, like I hope that like more people get inspired, because it's such a great art form, and it's so it's great. I love it, and I hope we see more movie musicals. I feel like a lot of like Broadway people also in general don't necessarily love movie translations, because it is true, like a lot gets lost from the stage to the screen. A lot does get lost, but I think it's good.
And I think that like opposite too is what has kind of made like modern cult musicals, like Beetlejuice, Addams Family, Carrie, Heathers, like those are all things that were movies, and everyone was like, why are you making this into a musical? That's so stupid. But then these like small communities kind of latched onto them, and that's kind of what made them like the modern musical.
Yeah.
That's so interesting to me. Just musical and Broadway culture in general is like a whole other world.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. That's why I don't participate in like forums or anything, because I don't want to get that deep into it. I literally just stick to my YouTube videos, and I just keep it to myself.
Yeah, so final thoughts on, well, I guess those were kind of your final thoughts on,
thoughts.
Well, that's more like Broadway, but like on cult musicals specifically, I think the reason they're so popular is because they're just so bizarre. They're like nothing you've seen before.
Yeah.
And they have songs. And I know a lot of people don't like musicals, which is like, I don't understand why.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
I genuinely don't. I'm like, why? I don't know. I don't even want to get into that because I just don't understand.
It's just like, it's proven that you're going to remember things through music way more.
But also it's such a unique way to tell a story.
Yeah.
Anyway. But yeah, I think that's why these stories are so popular. Stories like Hedwig, Little Shop of Horrors, Rocky Horror, because they have like unique characters that you will not forget about anytime soon. Like whatever my thoughts on Hedwig were, I'm still gonna remember that character, and I'm gonna remember that story. Same with Little Shop of Horrors. Like I'm gonna remember the whole.
Yeah, Little Shop of Horrors is gonna live rent free in my mind forever.
Absolutely.
Okay, what about you, Ella? What are your closing thoughts?
Closing thoughts, I think just cult musicals become cult musicals because the groups that are watching them and the groups that are loving them and, you know, eating up this media are people who want to be different in the same way I watch Riverdale. It's it's people who are looking for a sense of outcast and minority in their media that they're consuming. And so
Sorry, my fish almost jumped out of the tank.
Okay, I was so rude.
She was like getting deep, and then he went, whoosh.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I saw it happening out of my eye, and I was trying to listen to you.
You're so fine. No, I just think it's people looking for, you know, things that are bad that will make them different, and things that are, you know, other people don't like, because people don't like to like mainstream things. People like to be different. No one wants to be mainstream and basic. It's true.
That's a whole other.
I literally said that right before.
But I think that's a big reason that cult musicals become a thing, because Rocky Horror is awful. Like, it's not a good movie.
It's not a good movie. It's not a good story.
But it's become like a classic because people want to be different, and they don't want this basic horror movie. They want this weird, I don't know, just
at Hollywood.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't. Anyways.
Yeah. What just happened?
I don't know. I just got annoyed because I was about to go on another rant about Hollywood, like how I normally do at every single podcast.
No.
We're not going to do that.
Let's end this one on a positive note, because I think we ended very well with those little.
That was basically the same sentiment I was going to say.
Yeah.
And now we all break into song.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to be singing. No, I'm just going to. Can you imagine if we performed?
The way Daniel and I both are like so committed. We're like, yeah, we want to make a musical show, but then we're like, how?
I
What a no thing.
I can't write songs.
I can't
I'm
write
sorry.
songs.
That is a
we
whole
could find
talent.
somebody else.
Absolutely.
A cult musical that I personally would love to see done. This is a nice way to end it too. I would really love to see Phineas and Ferb the musical, and I mean that in all seriousness.
Wait, isn't that
the songs are already written? The songs are already written.
Yeah.
The same.
I think there's like a kids like on ice version, but I feel like the SpongeBob musical kind of thing.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Oh my god, wait, SpongeBob the musical, iconic.
Okay, we don't need to get
so
into
good.
that.
I don't agree with that one, but
I love it. I think it's so fun. I think it's because I was truly obsessed with
I
SpongeBob.
never saw SpongeBob.
I didn't like SpongeBob as a kid.
Yeah, so that's probably why.
Same.
I grew up on that.
But yeah, Phineas and Ferb the musical, absolutely.
That is great.
I'm just saying.
All right.
If anybody in Hollywood is
Yeah.
listening, this is what we actually want.
Period. We think.
In conclusion,
listen to us, Hollywood. Yeah, let us know what your favorite cult musical is on our Instagram.
Oh yeah, at
interact with
our
us.
Hollywood. Ella, where can people find you and any future projects that you will be working on?
I'm at Hella Roads, road spelled like a street with an E, everywhere, I think. And yeah.
Yeah, and then oh my god, I completely forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, you can check out more about Ella on our Instagram because we also made a little. I guess we're gonna make a little guest spotlight for.
Yeah, we need more interaction on our Instagram, guys. So like,
no, stop.
No, it's true though.
Yeah, that's true. Honestly, I love our Instagram.
I think it's great content.
I love the guest little spotlights.
I really like it, and I like the aesthetic. It looks good. I really like the logo y'all chose for this podcast.
Thank you.
Art Deco.
No, literally, I don't understand like color theory.
Good. Yeah. No, you should have seen what Daniel first sent me. I was like,
no,
what is this?
We don't need to talk about
Anyways,
it. I don't understand colors.
Yeah, it's like one of those 60s cartoons where like they
I love that.
Performing. Yeah. I have this very good image.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for listening. Register to vote, wear a mask, stay safe. All right, thanks everyone.